There is an increasingly obvious and scary parallel between how President Donald Trump is being treated by his staff to how Trump's family reportedly treated his father, Fred Trump, during the later stages of his dementia. Earlier in the show, we played yet another one of these videos where Trump appears disoriented and left the swearing in of Tulsi Gabbard without swearing in Tulsi Gabbard. He just left. Everybody was left standing there like, wait a second, we're here to swear Tulsi Gabbard, and Trump just left. They didn't. And what's happening here is that history is repeating itself in really a pretty unsettling way. So let me break this down for you. First, Fred Trump was Donald Trump's father, real estate mogul, built the Trump family fortune, gave Trump the money he has now. But in his later years, Fred suffered from dementia. And according to reports, including accounts from Mary Trump, that's Donald's niece, the family did not necessarily handle it with the most grace. And one of the things that happened was that Fred Trump was reportedly set up in a fake office. And what I mean by fake office is the following. It was a real office structurally, okay? But there would be a desk, there would be a phone. He would be given papers to sign, sort of to go through the motions of you're doing stuff. When he would pick up the phone, he couldn't get an outside line. It would just ring through to his administrative assistant or whoever it was. He had no idea what he was signing. He was essentially a prop kept around to maintain the illusion of control. Now we fast forward to Donald Trump today. Yes, the speeches are often incoherent. He confuses names. He confuses places. He leaves events before the thing he's there to do has even taken place. But what I want to talk about here specifically is that Donald Trump is being handed these executive orders to sign on camera, and he seems to have no idea what is in them. He reacts to a lot of this stuff like it's the first time he has seen or heard of it. Here's one example.
Sir, next, this is an executive order relating to the use of paper straws. As you've consistently identified, nobody really likes paper straws.
Number one trending. Can you believe it? A paper straw was number one trending for 3 days or something.
The environmental impact of plastic straws versus paper straws is entirely unclear. This has cost both the government and private industry an absolute ton of money and left consumers all over the country wildly dissatisfied with their straws. So we're asking aspects of the federal government, federal departments and agencies to look at their existing procurement processes, and we're asking your Domestic Policy Council to look holistically at this issue to address it, and it really is something that affects ordinary Americans in their everyday lives.
We're going back to plastic straws. These things don't.
All right, so listen, I am not claiming that Trump doesn't understand what he is being given, but he often seems as surprised by what he's signing as some of the American people end up by what he is signing. Here is another example of this.
Next, in 2018, you imposed ad valorem duties, tariffs on imports of steel at a 25% rate. Since that time, a large number of exclusions and exceptions to that tariff rule have been implemented. Because of the damage to the United States steel industry that those exceptions and exclusions have imposed, we're now, this order would reimpose that 25% ad valorem tariff rate on imports of steel, and it's presented for your signature now.
Okay. Do you understand what that means?
You sort of get the point. Trump just seems generally confused by this stuff. So here's the point that I'm trying to make. During his first term, Trump was notorious for signing executive orders without reading them. There were even reports that he didn't fully grasp the content of what he was signing. And now, of course, we have to ask, does this leave Trump open to being taken advantage of? And the answer seems to be a very obvious yes. If Trump is struggling to string together coherent sentences, how is he supposed to understand complex policy documents or even the implications of what he's signing? We know the answer. He doesn't understand them. And it is an eerie parallel to how Fred Trump was used as a puppet in his final years, signing whatever was put in front of him without really understanding it. Now, there is an important difference here. The difference is that Donald Trump is not just managing a family business. He's the president of the United States. Now, to be clear, I am not claiming that there is parity between Trump today and Fred Trump with advanced dementia. But the analogous circumstances of signing stuff he doesn't really understand is difficult to ignore. Cognitive decline or not, we are potentially heading into a situation where the Republican president is merely a figurehead and a puppet. And that should concern you regardless of your political affiliation, because when the person in the Oval Office doesn't fully understand the power they wield, it is not just a danger to democracy, it's a danger to the world. And we have a growing list of reasons to be worried about that. It's Trump signing the executive orders he doesn't seem to really understand or care about. It is that Trump has been supplanted, even quite literally in the Oval Office, by Elon Musk, as we saw yesterday. And it is Musk taking questions and Trump sitting there hunched over looking weak. It is the group of people around J.D. Vance, including his supporter Peter Thiel, who reportedly have the plan of taking over power for a feeble Donald Trump over the next 4 years to make Trump nothing but a figurehead. The people not concerned with this are the ones who think that they will get more access to power the more diminished Donald Trump ends up. And that should scare us. J.D. Vance is on that list. Elon Musk is on that list. And there's a lot of other people in Donald Trump's orbit. And the parallel to Fred Trump, not saying it's the same, is really difficult to miss here. Well, I wrote a book after a long journey and a ton of work. I am really thrilled with how it turned out, and I hope you'll read it. The book is called The Echo Machine, and in a nutshell, it looks at how American politics got so broken, who has already figured out solutions, and how we can try to fix it and stop the terror of Trump for the next 4 years. With Trump winning this election, The Echo Machine couldn't be more relevant, not only a warning about how we got here, but also about what might be coming and how to prevent the worst outcomes. We've got to stay engaged. We need a plan, and that's what the book is about. There's a belief out there that unless you have corporate media behind you, you can't have a successful political book launch, that it's not possible. I think we can prove that wrong. Order The Echo Machine today at davidpakman.com/echo on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Audible, Kindle, anywhere that books, ebooks, and audiobooks are sold. You can also call any local bookstore and say, please order me The Echo Machine by David Pakman. Wherever you get the book, you'll get the free pre-order perks, including the signed book plate. Head to davidpakman.com/free book stuff after ordering.